Hey traders, let's go over the daily video. First name is in an earnings and a Warren Buffett stock. So they report earnings after the close today is Oxy. Now earnings are very, very, very small size. You see there the March 3rd 60 calls. The trader laid out about $250,000, 18,000 on the line. Obviously the chart is, well, a lot of people are long from the 70s because Warren Buffett. But add some support here. All I'm going to do, and to give you guys an example of kind of how I trade, earnings are always a binary event. I never want to risk too much capital in any earnings trade just because, let's say the stock goes up 10% after hours, then the CEO says one thing and the stock could go red. So like earnings here in Oxy, to give you an example, I have about a $50,000 account. I'm just going to risk, let's say $250 or so on this trade. Something like that. So very, very small. Usually I'll risk, no more than 10% of my account on a trade, but usually about 5% to give you an example. But earnings, very small, but don't mind these. If Oxy has any good numbers come out, I actually think the volatility is pretty cheap. If you look at the at-the-money straddle, the 59 calls are about $1.70, 59 puts are about $1.50. Pretty cheap. Market makers are buying about $2.77 move. I'll risk $250 on a little dice roll for earnings. Why not, right? Not a real trade, not like a big real trade that I do like swing trade, but just something to get a little feet wet starting off the week. Don't mind it at all. Compared to some of my positions, like an American where I got a 70 lot, right? More of or LBRT, a 20 lot, right? To give you an example. Also seeing some calls here in the NEO. The NEO next week, March 10th, 9 calls. Some of the EV junk stocks are looking to short squeeze today. Not a big bet, but something, very speculative. Obviously, that's a horrendous chart. LI Auto was actually around 25 pre-market, now 23. And then Rivian, speaking with the EV theme, there's a little NVIDIA bet coming in. Rivian saw the March 24th, 18.5 calls. Only about 160K, which is not a lot of money even for Rivian. But something, and I'm assuming they do get earnings this week, 228. So, a lot of the EV stocks, Lucid, a little up today after horrible earnings and horrible outlook. Tesla ripping today, but a little shock. And Fisker up 27% on, let's just say, it's a green day for a stock that has gotten absolutely crushed. A lot of these EV stocks, can't make it. Just, demand is drying up. But Rivian is an earnings play. I don't mind it. I personally would prefer to just buy the cheap weekly calls, and they're either, stock goes up, they do well. If the stock goes down, well, they'll probably go to zero. But maybe we'll look at Rivian tomorrow if we get any more flow. But Oxy taking a whopping 2 lot. Risking $150 on it. If the stock goes down on earnings, I'll be eating ramen noodles for the rest of the week. Stock goes up, and maybe those calls have a nice bit in them. Maybe I'll eat me some filet mignon and lobster. That's it.